Moris have been seen so much more ever since killers gained the ability to Mori the final survivor in the match, and each and every one being entirely unique and even some legendary skins having their own unique Moris, I figured that it might be a good idea to rank them. So I decided to make a video on it. Alright, without further ado, let's get right into this. Unfortunately, our first one is going to be the Hillbilly. I will give it to Hillbilly that he has very good efficiency. He doesn't get distracted or overwhelmed, he just immediately kills the survivor. But unfortunately we're looking for glory, beautiful bloodshed. This is not it. This is just too quick. This brings us to our next killer, the Trapper. Trapper's Mori, although a little bit bland, does involve a lot more blood and a lot more brutality when killing the survivor. Less efficiency, but more fun was had with Trapper, I'd say. Next up, we have the Wraith. Wraith is different to Hillbillies and Trappers as it kind of merges them. He's very focused on where he's hitting, he's very focused on his target, but he's also swinging multiple times and having some fun with it. Efficiency and brutality, so pretty good. Next up, we have the Nurse. Unlike the previous three, Nurse's one contains 0 blood, just trauma to the throat, I guess. She just chokes them out until they stop moving and then she shuts their eyes for them. Very, I guess, disturbing is the word I'd use, so therefore I love it. Moving on to Doctor. Doctor's one also contains 0 bloodshed, but is still equally as disturbing as he fries the survivor's brain and then checks his work out. Moving on, now we have Freddy. Now, Freddy's contains a lot more blood, but a lot less action is happening. There's no gibs left on the survivor like you'll see in some of the later Moris, and there's no real effort put in. He just kind of stabs them and then takes his glove out and walks beside them. That's about it, realistically. Nothing crazy. Moving on, now we have the Plague. Plague's one isn't brutal or anything and has no blood, but it is just utterly nasty and disgusting. She just vomits in the survivor's face until they die. And to be honest, I'm not really sure what kills the survivor here. Is it the like asphyxiation from the vomit, or is it just the sheer shock of being vomited on? Next up, we have Skull Merchant. Skull Merchant has always confused me, as in her lore she's described as this very brutal not mass murderer, but very brutal murderer, a CEO killer that just like brutally murders everybody involved, and yet very quickly and very non-brutally, just efficiently killing survivors. And I have a few other questions too. 1, why does the survivor scream at the start? 2, what is that drone actually doing? And 3, why does she fiddle her fingers like that before touching the survivor? Just touch the survivor or grab them or anything. Sorry about that rant. Skull Merchant's Mori is apparently a trigger for me. Anyway, next we have Myers. When it comes to killing people, Michael Myers is usually so emotionally uninvested that he just does it and brutally removes them from this realm of existence. But in Dead by Daylight, it almost seems like he enjoys it. He tilts his head, he readjusts his stab, and then he throws him to the ground with such emotional investment, and whilst it may seem very out of character, I love it. Next up, we have the Pig. I've always enjoyed Pig's Mori, as it kind of shows we are just humans facing another human, but this human is insane and has a weapon. And she thinks she's doing something great for Jigsaw when she's not actually, so it's hard to go against. Realistically, those stats kind of show she's not supernaturally strong, she's just a human being with a weapon. Next up we have the Trickster. Now, Trickster's one is quite interesting because I believe it fits his character really well. His Mori really does fit his character. It doesn't fit Dead by Daylight. The cut-off screams and the constant throwing and the smashing of the knives make it seem like a very anime fight scene style Mori, when in-game it just kind of looks out of place, I want to say. It's still an okay Mori. I just don't personally think it fits all super well. Next up we have Leatherface. I love the brutality of Leatherface. He smashes the survivors in the side of the skull, and then whilst they're recovering, which by the way, that would hurt like shit, and you would be in so much like, they shouldn't be awake right now. And then the chainsaw just straight through the shoulder. Awesome. Love it. Next up we have the Huntress. Huntress really does show her childlike side when it comes to her Mori. Initially, she gets a very efficient kill straight away by slamming the survivors through the face with her axe, before immediately following up with 2 more random body shots for no reason. But it's okay, because it still looks good, and she looks like she's having a great time. Next up, we have Spirit. Spirit is another killer who shows her emotional side, again, and a very efficient stab at the beginning, killing the survivor instantly, and then a bunch of random body shots to follow up just to show that she's pissed off. It's great. Next up we have the Legion. Again, a very humanoid encounter, a very human versus human where one has a knife and is insane type thing. I love it. It's very brutal and very nice. Next up we have the Blight. Blight seems very distracted within his Mori. I mean, he injects the survivors whilst looking around, I guess, for other survivors before finally focusing up and getting that kill. Next up we have the twins. This is the twins variant without Victor in it, just Charlotte, and I love the way that she stabs the survivor in the ribs, looks at their reaction, and then does it in the neck to finish them off. Totally awesome. Next up we have the clown. Now, Clown's one is disgusting. First off, that neck crack is nasty, and then he steals the finger, licks the blood off of it, and adds it to his collection. So it is also fucking awesome, but also absolutely disgusting. Next up, we have the twins with Victor. I love the way Victor kind of looks over to Charlotte for validation just before he jumps in and finishes the job. We just have to double check before I get told off, you know. Next up we have the Hag. Hag's one is very gory and I love it. I love the way she's latched onto the survivor's throat, rips out something, and then proceeds to attack the torso. Very cool. Next up we have the Dredge. Every time I watch Dredge's Mori, all I can think about is, damn, he's pulling out every weapon within his arsenal just to use. First he has like 7 kitchen knives, and then he swaps to 2 giant, I don't know, insect talons. I don't even know what the fuck you'd call that, but yeah. Very brutal, very cool, and I love it. Next up, we have the Demogorgon. Demogorgons is so cool. You can hear like how violently he's swinging the survivors. You can physically hear them moving through the air, and you can hear all of their bones, I guess it would be their neck and vertebrae, just kind of snapping and clicking as it does this. Now, supposedly, initially, their whole head was supposed to come off, but this would make the game unavailable in some countries, so they didn't end up going down that route. But for the sakes of Mori, that would be so cool. Next up, we have the artist. I do love the boiling effect you can hear as the giant crow starts to try and burst out of the survivor's stomach. It's so gross and awesome at the same time. And then at the very end there, nice detail, the crow's actually eating the survivor's body apart. I love it. Next up we have Ghostface. Ghostface's Mori is so unique to his character that it feels impossible to rank him anywhere but number 1, but I felt like with all biases taken away that this is the best possible placement for him. However, his Mori is a treasure. I feel like Oni's Mori just ticks off every single box under the Mori checklist. We have lore accuracy, power display, attention to detail. It is brutal as fuck, and I love it. I feel like it is such a good Mori. I feel like Deathslinger's Mori would have to be one of the most painful ones to experience in real life. We have the initial stab of the bayonet, then he lifts you up in the air afterwards, right? So this is now ripping through your vertebrae, and then he fucking shoots you with a harpoon, like through your spine into your mouth. The amount of shit that would break, that would hurt like fuck. Nemesis has a Mori that is almost directly pulled out of Resident Evil 3's remake. Honestly, it fits his character really well, but he feels sluggish. Like, he's slow, he's not acting how Nemesis would, but I suppose Dead by Daylight's variant is pretty slow. Nemesis in Resident Evil 3's remake does kind of Spider-Man around the map with his tentacles, so fair enough, this guy is a little bit sluggish, so it fits his Dead by Daylight character, but I don't think it fits the overall Nemesis character.
Farewell, pathetic human.
Dracula's Mori has always been just a little bit unimpressive for me. I mean, he has the ability to summon fire, turn into a freaking wolf, and bats, and all he really does is base kit vampire shit. He slices their throat open and drinks their blood, which is, yeah, it's cool, but it's not, like, when you see his powers in comparison to what he does in his Mori, it doesn't feel like he's trying, and it's annoying. Pyramid Head's Mori is just one giant power show, and I'm all there for it. I mean, the way he just lets the survivor get taken out of his hand by his torment, showing what he can do with that torment, is pretty scary, but at the same time, absolutely awesome.
I have such sights to show you.
Pinhead's Mori is just insane. He straight up packs up the survivor like a suitcase and takes him on a vacation to the Leviathan. And that is all I'm gonna say. He takes the survivor to a whole new fucking realm. That's it. Mori finished.
This is your time to shine, naughty bear.
Naughty Bear is like if we got Trapper Mori we all wanted, but then we just handed Naughty Bear over it and made it all Naughty Bear themed. And it's sick. I like it. I think it's a sick Mori. Way better than Trapper's. At the same time, I wish Trapper had one where he would kick a survivor into a bear trap. That'd be sick. Wesker's Mori is like a fucking fever dream. He tanks a right hook to the face, throws a survivor on the ground, fucking superhero punches the ground, sends his Ouroboros through the ground, has it inject and infiltrate the survivor, and then at the end of all of this, he pulls out another pair of sunglasses and wears it. It's a fever dream, and I love it.
It will be fast, possibly painless. Die fast, please. It is all over.
Singularity's Mori is fucking horrifying. He picks up the survivor like a damn claw machine in an arcade, injects him with some ungodly substance, I don't know what it is, and then he proceeds to do this in such a small area and such a small amount of time until their face pops like a pimple, and Jesus, it is disgusting, but I love it, and I love Singularity. He is great. 10 out of 10. Chucky's Mori is just so Chucky, it is unreal. There is over 30 different voice lines he can use right at the end there. Of course, the one I chose here was fuck you and die. I feel like that fits incredibly with exactly what he's doing. 10 out of 10. Absolute cinema. But great Mori, great Mori, great Mori. I love it.
Your tail ends here.
Vecna's Mori is amazing. The Lich literally does the Lich thing where he gets dead bodies, necromancers them, and proceeds to use them to kill somebody. Amazing. However, there is unfortunately a small glitch with him, and that is in that very first scene where you initially pan to the skeletons, ripping the skin off the survivor. There is a small segment there where the survivor's skeleton is actually completely invisible, which kind of ruins the vibe and makes it look a bit buggy, but honestly, great Mori. The Knight's Mori is despicable. He gets all of his boys to jump the survivor, burn them, stab them, just fucking mutilate them. And then at the end of this, he does the most brutally disgusting thing by inserting his sword in between the survivor's throat and collarbone and then pulling out what I would assume would be their entire fucking ribcage. This is so bad, it even makes some of his boys back up. Upon Sadako's release, her freaking Mori was probably the most disturbing thing because it's the first ever time we've actually seen bone gib in Dead by Daylight. Brutal, disgusting, and telekinesis, amazing. I love it. Unknown's Mori is so weird and sick, like he literally summons tentacles out of his spine, either that or he is the tentacles. And it's not really out of his spine, it's kind of out of a mouth in his back, which is equally as weird. And then he, I assume, sucks the survivor's soul out of their very living body and eats it. I'm not certain on that though. However, it's gross, it's gruesome, interesting, confusing as fuck, and I love it. Were-elk's Mori is fucking awesome. Like the way it just is so methodic and slow, and its actions are so thought out before it does them, really gives it that hyper intelligent sort of vibe. And then the display of entrails on its antlers at the very end is absolutely top tier beautiful. I love that. Xenomorph's Mori really does remind me of the game Alien Isolation. You can probably tell why. Either way, that jump at the start, amazing. And then the implantation of the fucking tail, beautiful. Only to show its tail's strength by picking up the survivor and using that tiny mouth, that I don't know what it's called, placing it through their forehead. Amazing. And then it just leaves a giant hole in their head, as it probably would, which is great. Honestly, 10 out of 10 Mori. I love Xenomorph's Mori. I like Alien as a character. Sick.
And now you are mine.
We welcome our newest member into the fog with the FNAF crossover, Springtrap, and he's sick. I love him, and his Mori is great. It's very unique and not what I expected, but still really cool nevertheless. The continuity is there with that endoskeleton also being featured in the back rooms of the FNAF map, which is sick. He did the jump scare thing at the end, which is awesome, as it would be anyway. It is missing its classic sound effect, but you know, still cool.
You rotten hog. Loud and pathetic.
Houndmaster's Mori is unique. I do love the dog, obviously, and the way that the amount of gibs show up around her fucking foot as she stomps the survivor's face in. And on top of that, her voice lines are very peak and on-set. However, they are kind of missing the whole mouth movement part, which I find interesting. Either way, super sick Mori. I love it. It's very nice. I know Kaneki and Rize basically have the exact same Mori, but there actually is one minor difference here, and the whole reason for it is kind of insane. But basically the difference is Kaneki is upset whilst he performs his Mori as he doesn't want to, and Rize is pretty content performing hers. So the difference lies in the models. Basically Kaneki's one is built with a frowny face, and her one is built with a smiley face, which makes her automatically smile during the Mori and makes him pretty upset. That's right, our number one is True Form Dracula. I just love how this Mori is so insane. He literally punches the survivor through the back, into the spine, grabs the spine, lifts the survivor up, then the survivor kind of realizes what is happening and panics before he proceeds to rip them apart with his two, I don't even know what to call them, tails I guess. And then he throws them on the ground, and holy shit does he throw them on the ground. Look at that freaking ragdoll. They literally just flop all over the place. But yes, unfortunately that is the final Mori, and that brings us to the end of this video. Now I have done this once before, if you want to take a look at that little icon thingy up there, and I think it's the top left corner. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Smash a like, smash the subscribe button, because that'd be cool. I would like that. And yeah, have a good day or night depending on where you live, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.